place. All these trees and stuff is in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Good morning from Saloom. It's time to leave. It's a bittersweet moment. I'm excited to go on and see other things. Still haven't seen like the pyramids or anything like that. But I'm gonna miss this little town. So the interesting thing about that is that there's only one destination if you go to the bus stop, if you can even call it that here. Because if you want to go to Libya, well, you just kind of walk or take a car or whatever to the border, and then from there you take a bus to wherever you want to go. And then to anywhere in Egypt, you have to go that way. There's only one road out of here. Just to the south, it's just desert. To the north, the sea. So you can only go east. There's only one road. So, but apparently there's a bus at 7 o'clock. So if you remember, I came here in a shared taxi, and I think how it works is that there's a bus that maybe runs once a day, and then after that you have to take a taxi if you miss that time frame. So I'm just trying to find that now. As you can see, it's a bit quieter. I don't have to worry about mobs of tiny Egyptians like I had to last night. ايه مش بايدة صح؟
ايه؟
لا
ايوه تعال قدام.
ها؟
تعال قدام.
ما فهمت.
تعال هنا.
لا 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 بس انا كويس انا كويس. يلا يلا. So I asked these guys where the bus is, and they said they'll take me. They wanted to insist on me sitting in the front with them because I think it would be more comfortable or something, but it's not. It's a tiny little cab of Toyota's Ranger or whatever this thing is, the small truck, right? So I was like, no thanks, I'm more comfortable back here. The other thing I forgot to mention yesterday. Oh, here we are. Hello. Good morning. Wyatt. Salam.
أين تقع؟ أين ذهب؟
شو؟
أين تذهب؟
تذهب.
لا تذهب؟
ده بدك شو؟ سلام، شكرا حبيبي. شكرا. شو اسمك انت؟
علاء.
علاء؟
علاء.
علاء. شرفنا. شكرا.
أين
شو؟
أين مدينة؟
مرسى مطروح.
مرسى مطروح. أمريكا.
لا مش بعيد.
من أمريكا.
مش ممكن ليبيا.
لا بس الهضبة دي صورت على الهضبة منظر سلوم من فوق.
لا
يو يلا
انا هون من لا لازم نمشي هلا.
لازم تمشي هلا؟
اها بس انا هون من كم يوم. بس هلا لازم نمشي. اوكي. شكرا شرفنا.
50
اوكي
عشان انت
50 تفضل.
عشان انا بقول لك في وشه مش من ورا، ولا تقول لي عيش وملح ولا تقول لي عيش
شكرا.
وانا ما رضيتش ادخل.
I took my jacket off because they have the heat on in this bus. It's like 17 degrees this morning or something. But apparently that's cold for here because they have the heat on in this bus. Man, it was so hot on that bus. It's so nice outside. It's like 65 degrees with the sun out. It's perfect. But in that bus, they didn't have any windows open or nothing. And the sun just beat on it for hours. So I made it back to Marsa Matruh, but the bus to Siwa doesn't leave for another 2.5 hours. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't really feel like going into town, just because I don't feel like it. I don't know. Maybe there's a cafe or something close to here. So I found a van going to Siwa now, and it's one of those deals where they go and the van fills up. So I'll wait for that. It's like £5 more. And if it doesn't fill up by 1:30, which is when that other bus is, then I'll just go with the other one. But if it fills up before then we'll go sooner. So cool. See, this guy over here tried to charge me £20 to go to the bathroom, which is a lot. And all I had was the my 200 bill, and then like 3 coins, like 3 single pounds. So I said, all I have is this. I'll leave you this. He's like, okay. ماشي.
يا جماعة العربية ناقصة نفر. 5 جنيه 5 جنيه واتكلوا على الله ولا ايه ظروفكم؟ يلا زين. ها امين؟ يلا ريس. ورا ونزل هسه يا رفاق.
We're at a gas station here in the middle of the desert. Besides that guy talking on the phone, it's just quiet. It's interesting. There was a military checkpoint right before this. Also, this is the first gas station or anything, like the first anything that I've seen since we left Marsa Matruh. There's nothing, just desert. It is really beautiful too, because since we're in the really middle of nowhere, there's no trash on the side of the road, except for like a little bit around these checkpoints and stuff. But it's just sand, and it's really beautiful. I don't need to yell. There's no wind. There's no noise from traffic. But anyways, there's a military checkpoint here, which I'm not going to film because that sounds like just asking for trouble. But there's the second one we've had, which is interesting because going to the Libyan border, there was nothing. And now there's military checkpoints. And honestly, maybe if you're Egyptian, you can explain this, but I don't really understand what they're checking for, because they basically just took our IDs and just looked at the names and then gave them back. They didn't run them through any system or anything like that. So I don't really know what they're checking for. I guess maybe nationalities. They're making sure like there's no nobody undocumented coming through these roads, you know, since this is like the only road coming through the Western Sahara here, and not Western Sahara, the western part of Egypt, you know. So yeah, but I guess stretch my legs. It has not been a comfortable trip. We're packed in there like sardines. The guy behind me started snoring, and another guy behind me threw up. It's not a comfortable trip. It's nice to get some fresh air and stretch my legs a bit. So they have a mini mosque over here. Interesting. So even in the middle of nowhere, you have a proper place to pray. You know, it's really interesting now that I think about it. I don't think I've ever been in a desert before. Like, ever. Now I'm surrounded by sand for miles in the largest desert in the world. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever been in a desert before, now that I think about it. You know, there's deserts in the States, but, you know, mostly in the southwestern part of the country, which I haven't visited much. Well, I guess Mexico, like, the places I were pretty arid, but I wouldn't really consider them deserts. Maybe, technically, but you know, Mexico City area, Estado de Mexico, Hidalgo, those sorts of areas are pretty arid, but I don't know. It's definitely the major first, like, really, like, nothing, just sand everywhere desert that I've been to. That's for sure. Right now we're passing a military base in an airport, but to me it just looks like one giant long wall. But apparently from this road, this military base is basically to protect from the Libyan borders, or the airport is. The Libyan border is still another 100 kilometers from here, but but from here to the Libyan border there's nothing, just desert. So and I asked them if there's any towns again on the border, like south here on the Libyan border, but they said no. They said the only one is Saloum, and then Siwa, where we're going, is pretty much the last city. I think there's something more south, and then more stuff in the desert east towards the river. But as far as, you know, from here to Libya, there's just nothing, just desert for another 100 kilometers or so.
عربي مكسر.
So we found a taxi to our hotel. This is a pretty crazy place. There's a forest and farms and stuff, like in the middle of the desert. I'll show you more tomorrow, but like there's palm trees and rice farms because there's a few lakes just in the middle of the desert. I'll show a map too, like this is literally in the middle of nowhere, you know. 5 kilometers this way, just all desert. 5 kilometers that way, all desert. It's crazy. But then here, it's just life. So welcome to the place. Pretty neat, huh? It's got this own little like backpacker community, which is kind of cool. It's weird. There's Americans here. They're the first Americans I've seen since Christmas or something like that. Because I was in Mexico and then Jordan. Yeah, so it's weird. But yeah, pretty nice place. So tomorrow I'll probably go around, show you guys some stuff, but right now I'm gonna try to catch up on editing and just relax and stuff a bit. It was a long day. Like, oh, there's a fly on the camera lens. Maybe we can find a place, nice place outside that's got a plug that I can edit and stuff. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill and try to catch up on that, and then yeah, it's been a long journey. Like I said, that bus wasn't very comfortable. It was just we're packed in there like sardines, and yeah. But here I am. Like I left at 7 a.m. and it's now 4:30. So long day, but here I am. Just gonna relax and do that. I'll see you tomorrow. Beautiful place. All these trees and stuff. It's in the middle of the Sahara Desert. It's been a few days. Check out this place I'm staying. It's got this nice garden and stuff. It's kind of, room's comfortable. Pretty cool. But sorry I didn't record much the last couple days. I was editing and stuff a lot, and then I had some logistical issues with my upcoming trip that I had to work out. So I ended up spending just a lot of time inside on the internet. But this place is really cool. It's really beautiful. Like I said, it's all this greenery and these lakes. I went out walking a little bit, but I'll show you some pictures from a friend of mine. Some really beautiful places. Oh, that was the guy. And a nice town with friendly people. That's what I want to do quick before we leave. You know, typically I don't record this sort of thing, but I have an idea, so that I think is really cool. So I want to go to this shop that I've been going to for some things, and get a couple snacks and stuff for the bus ride tonight to Cairo, because I have an overnight bus to Cairo. And there's a shop there that is run by this boy and his dad, and it's a long story, but I can tell they're just a really nice, good, honest family. And I want to help them out a little bit, give them like a 200, have them keep the change, which I know isn't a lot of money, but I really don't make any money either. I make almost nothing off of YouTube, and then I basically just try to hustle other things online to keep myself afloat. You know, which is okay. I'm not asking for sympathy or anything like that. I put myself in this situation, I know that. But the way I look at it is, if doing something like this, if it forces me to cut this traveling YouTube thing short by an extra day to where I have to, you know, go back to America and get a real job a day earlier, I'm okay with that, because I don't know, spirit of Ramadan, I just want to help out a little bit. And like I said, I'm not rich where I can just say keep the change on every transaction and just, you know, throw money around, but every now and then I like to just, you know, do little things like this. But why am I telling you about this? Because I don't like to record these things, because I think it's you know, kind of distasteful. But I have an idea. You know, in the description of most of my YouTube videos, I have my PayPal link, where I just leave it there if people want to donate anything, like a one-time Patreon donation, something like that. But if you want to, if you send me a PayPal and then put a note on it, because PayPal usually lets you put, you know, notes when you send a transaction. If you put a note that says, you know, give this to somebody who needs it, or give this to a villager or a grandma or something like that, I will honor those. And I think it's a really cool idea, because, you know, you see big charity organizations that, you know, might have a good message or something like that, but a lot of them are really corrupt, or, you know, there's studies done where organizations, maybe 9 to 15 cents per dollar of what's actually donated actually goes to the people that they're trying to help, right? Because of administration or corruption or whatever it is, for whatever reason, only 9 to 15 cents of every dollar you donate, right? So, you know, it's a small thing, but, you know, if you have $10 that you want to give to somebody who could really use it, I'll make sure it goes to somebody who's honest, and it would improve their life, you know, in just a small way. And if you want, I'll put it in a video, and with you know, a thank you for your name or whatever, if you want to. But or maybe not, I don't know, I still feel weird about recording things like that. But yeah, just an idea. So if you want to, in the spirit of Ramadan or whatever, you know, throw some money at you know, Mexican abuelita, or like some, you know, some villager just an honest person trying to make a living, and it doesn't make a lot of money, right, and who could use a couple extra dollars like that, yeah, send that my way. Leave me a note with whoever you want me to give it to, and I'll do that, and I'll make sure that, you know, every dollar of that, not 9 to 15 cents, there's no administration fees, I'm not charging you for this, will go to them, if that's something you want to do. And I guess my inspiration for that was just that, like, I like doing things like this, and there's a really honest person. I wish I could just, I can tell they're just working hard, you know, and they just living a good, honest life. They're not trying to scam anybody. They're just working hard to make a living. And I wish I could help them more than I can, right? So that's, I guess, why I'm reaching out to you, my few viewers that I have. If you guys want to help people like that, then you can. Salam. Salam حبيبي كيفك؟ Salam. Mashura? This is the manager right here, guys, of this shop. So شو اسمك؟
محمد.
محمد؟ شلون؟ زيك. اعطيني لو سمحت مية كبيرة عندك؟ واحد. These peanuts. صح؟ شو اسم هذا بالعربي؟
سوراني.
سوراني. اوكي. كمان روح الاوتوبيس اليوم بالليل، بدي شيء اكل اوتوبيس، صح؟
كيس؟
شو؟
سكوت؟
لا، عندي 3 كافيه و هيك المية
20. 20. خد 2 من دول هاني.
2 صح؟ أو 3.
3 4
اوكي 4
8 كده
8
28
28 اوكي. لا مش 28 صح. اوكي
4 و4 8
اها
20
اوه هيك 20 مش هيك.
ايوه دول
اها
20 وده 8.
اوكي. وين ابوك؟ وين ابوك؟
راح نغير جنينة.
لوين؟
جنينة.
قرينا؟ ما بعرف بس هيك عندي خذ لأمك اوكي؟
ايه؟
اتين هيك لأمك وابوك اوكي؟ ما بدي ال change اوكي؟ اوكي خذ هالشيء اوكي؟
لمين؟ لا انا لما مين؟
لا هيك لابوك وامك اوكي؟
مين؟
لا
ابويا لامي.
اها اوكي شكرا لما people talk about Egyptian scams a lot after they go to Cairo, which still haven't been to Cairo. I've been in Egypt for 2 weeks and I haven't seen the pyramids. I wonder if anybody's ever done that before. But to me, out here, I've barely run into any issues like that. Actually, in these villages, not at all. But and then in Marsa Matruh, Alexandria, very little. You know, still be careful about those things. But regardless, as you saw, that kid was just you know, good kid working hard to provide for his family, and he really made sure I understood everything, and you know, made sure I understood exactly how much it was going to cost, you know. And I'm sure his dad's out working hard too, wherever he is. I didn't understand what he said there, but yeah, I don't know. Those are the kinds of people that I want to help out. And if you send me the PayPal with a message that you want to put a couple dollars towards something like that, I'd be more than happy to pass that forward. You know, the first time I went to that kid's shop, these big bottle of waters, the 1.5 liter, they generally cost £5. And so I asked for one. I said, it's 5, right? And he goes, no, it's 4. And he insisted that it was, you know, 4. And you know, things like that, and other things in general. It's just a hardworking family. So yeah, unfortunately, that's all I have from Siwa. I'd like to come back to here sometime, but I have more plans for other Egyptian villages. So I need to do some things in Cairo. Got to see the pyramids, of course, right? And do some things in Cairo. But after that, there's more villages I want to visit. And yeah, I'm excited for that. I just meet more smiling people, and yeah, I just love meeting people in these villages, you know? I always find that people in villages are so much more authentic than in the city, you know? So yeah, stay tuned.